The baby finished his bottle, eyes fluttering as he drifted into sleep. She burped in carefully, her movements slow and practiced. The strain in her shoulders eased for the first time since she walked in. Daniel saw the shift, the way exhaustion peeled away just enough to leave behind something gentler, something vulnerable that he pretended not to look at. Pretending helped people keep their dignity, yet he knew that better than most. He wiped down the counter near the coffee machine, moving with quiet efficiency, letting the warm, faint smell of freshly brewed coffee fill the early morning air. Steam curled upward in slow spirals, fading into the dim school hallway lights. Her voice broke the silence. "Thank you," she whispered, barely above a breath, not the casual thank you people tossed around without thinking. This was a heavy thank you. A tired one. One that carried weeks, maybe months, of holding too much inside. Daniel didn't answer right away. He finished wiping the counter, rinsed the cloth, folded it neatly over the edge of his cart. Only then did he turn toward her. "You're welcome." His tone was warm, steady. The kind of voice that didn't demand anything in return. The soldier had her eyes lowered to the sleeping baby now curled against her chest, tiny fists relaxed, cheek pressed against the fabric of her fatigues. Her whole body seemed to melt around him, shoulders sinking, breath evening out. She looked like someone who hadn't slept a full night in months and didn't expect to anytime soon. He had seen that look before 20 times, in the mirror. "How long has he been up?" he asked gently. She huffed a small laugh. "Since, all night, I think." "Honestly? I lost track." She rubbed the back of her neck with a wince. "He's teething. My CO says babies don't care about rank." Daniel chuckled under his breath. "They don't care about anything except being loud." She cracked the faintest smile. A real one. It made her look younger, softer, still worn, but less carved by stress. Daniel checked the hallway instinctively. Students wouldn't arrive for a while. Teachers even later. He still had time before his next task. And she clearly needed a quiet corner more than anyone. "You can sit as long as you need," he said quietly. "No one will bother you this early." Her shoulders eased another notch. "I appreciate that." "Really?" He nodded and went back to his cart, sorting tools by habit, the motions automatic, grounding. He didn't like to pry. People came to him in little fragments, small conversations, quick hellos, passing confessions they never intended to share. Something about a janitor made people feel safe, like he existed outside their world enough to be trusted with its shadows. He preferred shadows. They were easier than people, but this woman, she wasn't like the others. She came every day. Same time. Same tired steps. Same silent weight sitting between her ribs. And every day, she tried to pretend everything was fine. He recognized that too. "What's his name?" Daniel asked after a moment. She blinked, surprised. Maybe she wasn't used to anyone asking. "Leo," she said softly, brushing the baby's cheek with her thumb. He's a good kid. Just loud." "All good kids are loud," Daniel replied. She let out a breath that was almost a laugh. "What about your daughter, Lily, right? Is she loud?" His expression warmed instantly, in the way it only did when her name came up. "She used to be loud enough for the whole block. Quiet now, though. Too smart for her own good." "How old is she?" 8. The soldier smiled faintly. "Bet she thinks you hung the moon." Daniel didn't look at her. He focused instead on reorganizing his mop handle for the 20th unnecessary time. "She just thinks I can fix things," he murmured. "That's enough." The soldier's voice was soft, certain. "More than enough, for a kid." He swallowed softly. "Maybe." He hoped the baby shifted in his sleep, making a tiny squeaky noise. She instantly adjusted him, hand instinctively supporting his head, movement smooth and protective in a way that spoke of training, not military training, but the harder one. The one that starts the day your child is born and never really ends. "You're good with him," Daniel said before he could stop himself. She stared down at Leo with something between pride and guilt. "I try." Daniel recognized that tone. The quiet fear behind it. The fear of not being enough. She wasn't just tired, she was tired in her bones. He poured her a cup of coffee and set it on the bench just within her reach. When she looked up, confused, he simply shrugged. "You look like you need it more than I do." Her eyes softened, turning glassy for a moment before she blinked it away. Coffee should come with warnings, she muttered. Like, may cause emotions you didn't ask for. He smiled. Drink it before it gets cold. She did, taking a small sip. Then a bigger one. Then she closed her eyes briefly, like the warmth was something holy. They were both quiet for a while, the school hummed faintly around them. Pipes clinked softly in the walls. A janitor's radio crackled far down the hall. The world remained small for a few precious minutes, just the soldier, the baby, the tired janitor, and the temporary peace they built between them. You don't have to help me every morning, you know, she said at last. I know. He tightened a screw on the cart even though it wasn't loose. But I want to. Why? Her voice wasn't suspicious. Just, genuinely confused. Daniel glanced up at her, then at the baby. Then back at his tools, because you look like you're drowning and I know exactly what that feels like, but he didn't say that. Instead, he said, because everyone needs a place to catch their breath. She stared at him for a long moment. Her expression changed, not dramatically, but subtly. Like something fragile inside her had shifted, finally landing in a place that didn't hurt as much. You're a good man, Daniel. He shook his head. Just a janitor. You say that like it means nothing. It doesn't mean much. Yes, it does. Her tone sharpened with quiet conviction. You make places livable. Safe. People walk on clean floors and don't even think about who made them clean. But you're here before everyone, after everyone. You hold the place together. Daniel's throat tightened. He looked down at his shoes. I'm not used to people noticing. She smiled sadly. I'm not used to people caring. They both let the words settle. They came from different worlds, military and maintenance, soldier and single dad, but somehow, they met in the same quiet exhaustion, the same quiet resilience. Her coffee cup warmed her hands. The baby slept against her chest, tiny breaths soft and even. What about his father? Daniel asked gently. She stiffened, almost imperceptibly. Gone. I'm sorry. She nodded once, gaze drifting somewhere far away. He died before Leo was born. Daniel froze. He hadn't expected that. She ran a hand over her cheek. He was deployed. Wrong place, wrong time. Her voice was steady, but her eyes betrayed her. Sometimes I think Leo looks like him. Sometimes I hope he doesn't. Daniel didn't offer empty comfort. He knew better. Grief didn't need fixing, just a place to sit for a while. You're doing great, he said softly. She let out a shaky breath. Doesn't feel like it. It never does. She looked at him, then really looked. A slow recognition formed in her eyes. You've been through it too, she whispered. He didn't answer, but his silence said enough. Her gaze flicked to the small tattoo on his wrist he never bothered to cover. The date. The one people always assumed was a memorial for his parents or a friend. But she saw it, really saw it. She noticed the way he touched it when he spoke about raising Lily alone. She pieced the rest together. I'm sorry, she said quietly. He nodded. No more needed to be said. The baby stirred again, but this time only to curl closer into sleep. She sighed and gently adjusted the blanket around him. I should go, she murmured, though she didn't move. You're fine, Daniel replied. Stay until he settles. A long silence followed, then, softly, I come here because this hallway feels safe. Her fingers brushed the baby's hair. And because you're here. Daniel's breath stalled. He didn't reply, but she didn't seem to need him to. He moved his cart a little closer, just close enough that she wouldn't feel alone, not close enough to intrude. She closed her eyes, shoulders lowering as though putting down a weight she'd carried too long. For once, she let herself rest, and Daniel, predictable, patterned, quiet Daniel, found himself doing something he never did. He broke his routine. He sat down beside her, not touching. Not speaking, just sitting. A silent guardian in a dim hallway, watching over a soldier and her sleeping child, unaware, completely unaware, that the woman beside him wasn't just any soldier, that the baby wasn't just any baby, that their lives were about to twist together in ways none of them could see coming, that this simple morning ritual would one day place him face to face with the highest-ranking admiral on the base, who would look him dead in the eyes and say, "You've been helping my daughter." But for now, just a baby, a soldier, and a janitor finding peace in a quiet corner of the world, and the day hadn't even begun. If you want 5 photo prompts for this chapter, just tell me, I'll create them.